Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the vibrant and historic city of Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam. Whether you're planning a trip or just curious about this incredible place, Hanoi is a city full of contrasts. It's a blend of old-world charm with modern energy, and there's so much to see and do. Let's take a look at the top spots you should visit when you're in Hanoi. The Old Quarter, where history meets modern life. We're going to start in Hanoi's Old Quarter, which is hands down one of the most iconic parts of the city. Imagine walking down narrow streets packed with colonial architecture, street vendors, and the hustle and bustle of daily life. It's a place that feels like it's frozen in time, but still totally alive. Each street here used to be dedicated to a particular trade. For example, Hang Baek is known for silver, and Hangdao is famous for silk. If you stroll down these streets, you'll see all kinds of things, from handmade goods to street food stalls. Speaking of food, one thing you can't miss in the Old Quarter is a cup of café trung. That's egg coffee. It's a creamy, sweet, and slightly thick coffee made with egg yolks and condensed milk. You'll find it in almost every cafe, and it's a treat that perfectly captures Hanoi's quirky charm. Hoan Kiem Lake, the heart of Hanoi. Next up is Hoan Kiem Lake, which is pretty much the beating heart of the city. This beautiful lake is surrounded by lush trees, old pagodas, and some of the most peaceful spots in Hanoi. If you want to get away from the noise of the city for a bit, this is the place to do it. One of the coolest parts of Hoan Kiem Lake is the Ngoc Son Temple, which sits on a small island in the middle of the lake. It's connected to the mainland by a beautiful red bridge, and the temple is dedicated to a Vietnamese hero, General Tran Hung Dao. Take a walk around the lake, and you'll likely see locals practicing Tai Chi or playing chess. It's a spot to just relax, take in the scenery, and watch the world go by. The Temple of Literature, a slice of Vietnam's past. If you're into history and culture, the Temple of Literature is a must-see. This ancient Confucian temple was built in 1070 and was home to Vietnam's first university. It's a beautiful spot to learn about the country's deep respect for education and scholarly pursuits. Walking through the temple grounds, you'll find peaceful courtyards, stones to lie, which are ancient tablets honoring scholars, and some seriously gorgeous architecture. It's like stepping back in time, and it's one of the most tranquil places you can visit in Hanoi. The Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum, paying tribute to a national hero. Another major landmark in Hanoi is the Ho Chi Minh Mausoleum, where the body of Ho Chi Minh, the leader of Vietnam's revolutionary struggle, is preserved. It's one of the most important places in the country, and visiting it is a way of paying respects to the man who helped shape modern Vietnam. The mausoleum itself is an impressive structure, and the surrounding park is very peaceful. When you visit, be sure to dress appropriately. No shorts or sleeveless tops allowed. After you've seen the mausoleum, you can also check out Ho Chi Minh's Stilt House and the Presidential Palace nearby. West Lake and Tran Quoc Pagoda, a peaceful retreat. For some calm, head to West Lake, the largest lake in Hanoi. It's a perfect escape from the crowded streets of the city. You can rent a bike or take a boat ride around the lake, or just relax in one of the many cafes that line its shores. At the edge of the lake, you'll find Tran Quoc Pagoda, the oldest Buddhist temple in Hanoi. The pagoda is located on a small island in the lake, and it's a serene place to visit. It's one of the best spots for a peaceful walk, and the temple's architecture and beautiful surroundings make it a photographer's paradise. The Hanoi Opera House, colonial elegance in the heart of the city. Now, let's talk about the Hanoi Opera House. Built during the French colonial period, this stunning building is a perfect example of French architecture fused with Vietnamese style. It's been the site of countless performances, from classical music to ballet, and even contemporary concerts. Even if you're not catching a show, you should definitely stop by to admire the building's grandeur. And if you're lucky enough to be in town during a performance, grab a ticket and experience Hanoi's cultural scene. Hanoi's Train Street, a thrill for adventurers. If you're looking for something a bit off the beaten path, head over to Hanoi's Train Street. This narrow street runs right next to a railway track. And here's the crazy part. Trains pass through the street multiple times a day, just inches away from houses, cafes, and shops. It's an experience like no other. The best time to visit is just before the train comes through, so you can see the whole scene come to life. It's kind of wild, but it's also one of the most unique things you can do in Hanoi. Just be careful, trains can arrive pretty quickly. The Vietnam Museum of Ethnology, a deep dive into Vietnam's diverse cultures. If you're a fan of history and culture, don't miss the Vietnam Museum of Ethnology. This museum showcases the 54 different ethnic groups in Vietnam and their diverse cultures. The museum is filled with fascinating exhibits about traditional clothing, rituals, and daily life. One of the highlights is the outdoor area, where you can explore traditional houses built by various ethnic groups. It's a great way to learn about the incredible cultural diversity that exists in Vietnam. Hanoi street food, a culinary adventure. No visit to Hanoi is complete without diving into its world-famous street food scene. And trust me, the food here is amazing. Start with a bowl of pho, Hanoi's most famous dish. The version here is lighter and more delicate than in the South, and it's absolutely delicious. If you're a fan of grilled meats, definitely try bun cha, grilled pork served with vermicelli noodles and herbs. It's super tasty and a Hanoi classic. And don't forget cha ca. It's a unique Hanoi dish made of turmeric-marinated fish served with noodles, peanuts, and fresh herbs. You'll find some of the best cha ca at Cha Ca Lavong, one of the city's most famous restaurants. Night markets, the best place for souvenirs. Finally, if you're in Hanoi over the weekend, make sure to check out the weekend night market in the Old Quarter. The market stretches for several blocks and is full of colorful stalls selling everything from clothing to accessories to traditional handicrafts. It's a fun way to spend an evening, especially if you're looking for unique souvenirs to take home. You'll also find tons of street food, so it's a great spot to try even more of Hanoi's delicious offerings. And there you have it, a quick guide to some of the best things to see and do in Hanoi. From the ancient temples to the bustling markets, tranquil lakes to the amazing food, Hanoi truly has something for everyone. It's a city that blends history, culture, and modern life in the most exciting way. If you're planning a trip to Vietnam, don't miss Hanoi. It's a city you'll remember for its energy, its charm, and its incredible food. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed this video. And don't forget to subscribe for more travel tips and adventures. See you in the next one.